Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is where I share the stories that have led me to the practical life tools to inspire, empower, and bring success to our daily lives. A few years ago, I got a new addition to my body which caused a little bit of drama, and no, it wasn't plastic surgery. I then got me these brand new, state-of-the-art scars. Where's this one? Scars and scars. So I often talk about the challenges that I've had to overcome, which have led me to the path and the place that I am today. One of those defining moments was a pretty horrific car accident that I was in with the love of my life. Well before we even got married or had babies or anything like that, we had just picked up some Indian food and a movie and were on our way home to watch it and enjoy when, like most things in life, without warning, we got hit from the back and our car flew into the air and rolled over 5 times, landing in oncoming traffic. As we were rolling, the windows of the car had busted open, and so my right arm was just being scraped along the freeway, and shards of thick car glass were being lodged into my skin, and the asphalt on the freeway and all the dirt and all the deliciousness that is on that freeway was also being lodged into my skin, and same with my husband. He was the driver, so it was his left side, I was the passenger, my right side. When we stopped, the car stopped, I was unconscious, and I will spare all of the nitty-gritty details, but basically when they were finally able to get me out of the car, they took us to a trauma center where the CHP officer who responded to the accident even came back to the trauma center because he could not believe that anybody survived that car accident. I basically arrived with a dangling finger. They told me I might have to cut off the tip of my finger. There was significant trauma to my right side, my right arm, and I basically, for months after that, had to do physical therapy and learn and retrain myself how to use my arm and my hand and this entire right side. I got a few-month concussion from that. It took me a while to recover from that as well. I also got vertigo from that, so that left me entirely dizzy and lightheaded for months and months, where I couldn't even drive if I wanted to or take on tasks that would need me to use a stable brain. After the months and months and months of treatment to get me out of that, just get me back to the daily, I was left with a right side, right arm full of scars, and I hated those scars. They actually reminded me of the incident, everything about it, and I wanted to get rid of it. I went to a plastic surgeon and they told me that they can make it better, and we did surgery, and in fact it got worse. So my body does this magical thing where it gets infected. So the site got infected and it got worse. I tried to make it better and it got worse. Then I tried to change my wardrobe. I wore things that would only cover this side, or long sleeves in the middle of summer, or I would take on makeup thinking that that would cover it. Anything that I could do to distract any signs of what had happened. After trying the surgery, after the makeup and the wardrobe changes and trying to hide it, I realized I have a scar. I have scars. They're not going away. No matter what I do, they are not going to go away. They are there. They are thick. They are big. They are on my body and now a part of who I am. Since they reminded me so much of the event that caused them, and I had tried so hard to block the event, not talk about it, not think about it, not go back to that moment, I realized that fighting it was only making it worse. Yes, it was dangerous. Yes, it was painful. When I think about it, when I look at the pictures that were taken, it is so I played and replayed the events of the accident. I talked to my husband about it. I had him tell me what it was like for him, what was it like for me. We had even not talked about it for a while because we just didn't want to go back. We didn't want to live that again. And we wouldn't even go on the same freeway for so long. And we, anytime we would hear tires screech, it was like a freak out. And the more I noticed, the more I tried to stay away. Any evidence that it had taken place, I wanted to stay away from. But when I wholeheartedly took that event and sat with it and went through each of the steps, I eliminated the fear that was inside of me and the fear that got ignited when someone would ask me about it when they would see my scars. And I know that these scars, and my pride is that these scars show what happened to me as a result of that and what could have happened. The CHP officer that came back truly could not believe that we had survived that. And it was like I owed it to the event. I owed it to that accident to get as much as I could from it. It was a life lesson. It was a learning experience. Why are these things happening? For me to learn, for me to get stronger, for me to shift my mind, to accept things that are out of my control, the few things that are out of my control. When they happen, I can accept them and I can deal with them and I can come out thrilled that I've conquered them. Once I made the decision to accept it, love it, and embrace it, then I was wearing the clothes I wanted to wear. I was suddenly standing a little bit taller. I was okay and even stronger than before. It was actually creating an effect on those around me. So people started noticing it more. And what they wanted to do was come to me and say, oh, did you know that there's a procedure that can cover scars? Oh, did you know there's this cream that if you put it on every single day, or if you do this voodoo, whatever you do. So suddenly all the unsolicited advice was coming to me on how to get rid of my scars. And I saw that in fact, it was bothering other people way more than it was bothering me. Why? When people saw my scars, they would ask me about it. What happened? What did you go through? How did you get it? And I would tell them. I was okay with it at that point, and I wanted to share. It was fine. And I told them what I went through, and I could see a shift in their perception of me. Suddenly, they were softer. Suddenly, there was empathy, and they saw someone who had gone through something, and they became nicer and kinder. Kindness just poured out of them. I thought to myself, this is extremely fascinating. And why, when we see the scars, why, when we actually see evidence that someone is in pain, we can turn on the kindness to them? Everybody has scars. Everybody has scars, whether they are visible or not. I wish that kind of kindness would be shown to everybody, knowing that everybody's gone through something, whether big, medical things or inner battles that they're dealing, or mental health battles, family battles, work battles, financial battles. Everybody has a battle that is leaving scars, and they deserve the same kind of kindness, the same softness that gets shifted when we see someone with a physical scar. You cannot go through something like that, big or small. There's certain events in your life that click something on the inside. Something changes. For the better or for the worse, it's still changed. When my daughter was a little bit younger and she could identify when something was different on a person's body part, she rubbed my scar and she said, "Mommy, ouchie," and she kissed me. And I said, "No, Mommy's strong." Thank you so much for letting me share that with you. I haven't done so much. There's so many different parts to that, but really what I wanted to talk about, because it came up recently again, was my scars. Happens, man. So what is your evidence of conquering an event? What kind of scar do you have? Is it physical? Is it invisible inside? I'm interested. Okay, guys, just another way acceptance has conquered it all. And truly, I really appreciate you letting me share that with you. And as always, love to you all. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Hi, kartoti, kanochi, katochi. The nasty elbow. My daughter calls it the bubblegum elbow.